out.
Oh, yeah.
Raise it up.
Go like this, go. Oh, and then go.
Check, bro.
I like that when they do that. Are we live? We're live. Okay, awesome. Well, welcome to the Hustler Casino Live pre-game show. I am David Tuchman. You guys know Mariano. You know Dentist Dave. We're going to be here chatting with you for the next, I don't know, hour or so about...
Anything
and everything.
Mostly Dentist Dave.
Yeah, mostly Dentist Dave. We're going to be grilling Dentist Dave, and we've got some. I've got some Twitter questions that we're throwing out there.
Okay.
First off, I think the people want to know: are you actually a dentist?
Yeah. No, I'm not. I just happen to own some dental offices. Mariano decided to call me Dentist Dave.
You're
My
welcome.
wife hates it, but it's growing on her. And some guy, I was walking through the casino the other day, and some guy goes, Dentist Dave, and he throws me a lucky chip. So I think the people are starting to get underneath this Dentist Dave wave a little bit, so we'll see.
Wait, so you own dental offices? I didn't realize that was a thing.
Yeah, there's a few states that allow for that, and so Arizona happens to be one of them.
Somebody on the outside can own.
Yeah.
Does Arizona allow, like, can I own a doctor's office?
Yeah.
And the doctors work for me?
Yeah, exactly. You just have to have a clinical director, basically, that's under their license and their name and all that kind of stuff.
Do you have any dental background whatsoever, besides the fact that you have teeth?
No dental.
You just thought it was a good investment.
Hang on, he's got two. You said you had masters and
Oh yeah,
bachelors.
that's true. Yeah, so I did do a bunch of schooling and things like that, but no actual like physical. I'm not in there slaving away at the mouths.
Okay.
I've never.
I'm glad, because I don't know what that is.
Yeah,
that looks like you're like cooking, like you're cutting steak or something.
Yeah.
Imagine this guy working on you.
I was about to ask him to check out my teeth, but then I just saw that and I was like, yeah, no thanks.
Well, I got sausage fingers too, so you don't want this guy messing with your mouth at all. So
No. Okay, so we had a few. I was asking Dave some stories, and he started telling stories before, and I was like, no, stop, because these are good for the show. Okay, so. What's your actual name?
So my name is David Jacobson.
Okay.
And apparently there are several like terrorist people.
Terrorist?
With the name of David Jacobson.
Okay, like 3 minutes ago, it was just they're bad people.
No,
now they're terrorists.
They're very bad, apparently.
Wow, okay.
I went on a cruise and I came back from a cruise and I got stopped by Border Patrol, and they, did the whole thing. Interrogation room, the whole, I'm a bad guy type thing. And the whole time I'm like, listen, I work for Phoenix PD. I'm law enforcement. Like, what are you doing? And they're like,
were you law enforcement at the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
And they're like, so tell us about Tanzania. Like that. They just start talking to me about these different hot spots.
Like, it's like straight out like a movie.
Yeah. I was like, I don't know anything. I'm from Arizona.
See, that's what a terrorist would say, though.
I get, yeah. So
right?
anyway.
Absolutely.
I mean, if they asked you, tell us about, you'd be like, I'm from.
I don't know anything.
I don't know anything.
I just flat out do not fly Southwest anymore because it just takes like 3 hours to get on a flight for me. Like they have to sit here behind. Whatever they're doing, I'm on some sort of watch list. The name David Jacobson's on some sort of watch list.
David Jacobs.
You're innocent, though.
I'm a good guy.
Are you sure?
I'm milk and potatoes.
See, that's what I feel like a terrorist would say that. I feel like a terrorist would say, I'm a good guy.
We should talk to Ryan about this.
I
did live in Europe for several years, and I do speak many languages. And according to Dahl, I do have several passports, but we're not going to talk about that.
It's like honestly, like the Bourne identity.
Yeah.
Forget Jason Bourne. It's David Jacobson.
The Dentist Dave identity.
Honestly, think about it. If you were going to be a terrorist, wouldn't you own some like dental clinics and look as like vanilla as this guy?
Exactly.
Fly under the radar.
Have you ever thought about, you can get the global, the global flying thing? You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, I've never even thought about it. Yeah, I probably should.
I feel like if you did that, it would probably take you an extra hour or two.
Well, like I took my family, we went on a vacation last year to Italy, and we came back, and I'm, going through customs.
Is this a real family or is this a terrorist
My
family?
real family.
Because that's what they have. They have those fake families.
You hit your passport into the thing, and then just this big X comes up over my face
What does
like
that
this,
mean?
and I'm like, oh great, I'm going to another interrogation room. So anyway, don't travel with me, because I will cause you problems probably.
Okay.
I kind of want to do it now.
I kind of want to do it. Have you ever been, when they check you, do they check all parts of you?
Dude, I've never been molested more than when I go through airports.
Okay, true.
I thought you sat kind of funny every time you played. Really gingerly.
It's really ridiculous at this point.
When you go in there and you get interrogated and molested, does a little part of you enjoy it?
You know what? No. It's really not enjoyable. Because usually it's some 500-pound, gorilla guy that's not pretty.
Gloves.
Yeah, it's just I don't like you. No.
While he's doing it, you're like, okay, can you check my prostate too while you're up there?
Why not?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had horrible luck with airports. One time we went to France and my dad bought a souvenir bullet from World War II. And he put it in my bag without me knowing. And then I go through the airport, and the French police accost me, do another interrogation room. I've been in so many. Now that I think about it, I've been in a lot of interrogation rooms. And yeah,
This is straight up like the drug mule. Your dad planted
because
something
of
in
this
your.
AK-47 bullet or whatever it was from 1932 or 42 or whatever. And so eventually I just told the guy, I was like, listen, either arrest me or leave me alone. I gotta go get my, and I just walked, and he just let me walk out. So I don't know.
Is your family just used to it at this point?
Yeah, at this point it's just like
They just go. They'll go. Okay, we're gonna go through. We're gonna get some food. We'll see you in an hour and a half, Dad.
That's why I was talking with him earlier. I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm just gonna drive and not fly so much, and maybe save some of this hassle that I put myself
Right.
through.
Are you TSA pre-check?
No, I'm just
That's part of the problem.
I need to
What's
get all
I said?
that.
There's the global awareness thing. You know what
I
I'm
need
talking
to do all
I've
that.
heard of that. So that's something different, right?
It's amazing.
Yeah.
It also gets you TSC.
It's a.
This is not an ad
flight.
for that, by the way, but if you fly even a little bit, and if it's ever international, you fill it out online, then you've got to go interview somebody for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe 90 minutes if
Maybe that would save
if your
you
name
a
is
lot,
David
yeah.
Jacobson, maybe it's 90 minutes, I don't know. But then you literally get a card and a global travel number.
Yeah.
And it doesn't, it costs $100, but it's 5 years.
Oh, okay.
Totally worth it, but only if you fly international often, correct?
Honestly, if you travel, but it does TSC, it does TSA as well.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
So, if I traveled once a year internationally, I would do it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, that's worth looking into. I only fly within the countries, so I haven't looked into that.
That's it.
I just have pre-check, and it's awesome.
yeah, that works too.
You need to get on that,
I need
especially
to.
with your name.
Yeah.
You know,
I would do that.
you sit,
Okay,
down, sit down a lot faster.
speaking of traveling,
TSA pre-check.
you brought up Alaska.
Yeah.
Now, you mentioned that you think it's all bull. He's full of shit. He's not actually from
Everything we've
Alaska.
heard tonight is probably a lie.
Probably a lie, right, exactly. He probably is a terrorist.
Yeah, I don't know this guy, man.
So, you're actually
yeah.
from Alaska?
I grew up in North Pole, Alaska,
North Pole.
home of Santa Claus.
Oh, stop it.
Come on.
I lived 2 blocks away from Santa Claus's house. I graduated from North Pole High School.
Okay, I need somebody to check on this.
Verify.
You can tweet me at Tuck on Sports. I'd
Please
like
look
to.
up.
I want
My
to check
dad-
on this.
My dad is the mayor of North Pole, Alaska.
Shut up.
My
Nobody's a
summer
mayor of
job
North
was to
Pole's not a
paint
real
candy
town, is it?
canes on the light posts in the
Hold on
town.
a second. Is North Pole even a real town?
No, it's
Talk.
not.
Hey, we have one of the best Wendy's in North America.
North Pole, Alaska. Hold on a second.
Dude, I just did this 10
That's our
minutes ago,
claim to
Tuck.
fame. We have
did
one
this
of the
10 okay,
best
Really?
Wendy's.
Why?
Because it's like everyone goes there.
Really?
So it's so busy.
North Pole.
You've gone there, I take it?
Hold on a second. Hey, so North Pole, city limits.
Yeah, baby, come on.
Yeah.
That's where Dave's from. Or so
North
he says.
Pole.
My backyard is moose and caribou and
Really?
salmon and
Apparently, I can get there in 14 hours and 10 minutes from Burbank.
yeah, it's just a.
Let's go.
I've actually driven that a couple times, the Alcan Highway, and it's quite the experience.
Okay, here it is. So North Pole is a small Alaskan city near Fairbanks. It's known for its year-round Christmas decorations, including candy cane stripes, street lights, Santa
I
Claus
can't
house.
make this up. You think I'm a
Santa
meth?
Claus house is a Christmas store
You think
with
I'm
covered.
just like cocained out?
Well, it's covered in children's letters to Santa and a huge Santa statue outside.
Can't be real, Tuck.
Streets have names like Kris Kringle Drive
Yeah.
and Mistletoe Lane. Is this true? What street did you live on?
Oh, mine's not Kris Kringle Lane, but it's right next to Santa Claus Lane
What was your name of your street you grew up on?
for now.
Okay.
It's just a regular.
I like it.
Regular.
So,
I mean, were you an elf? I mean, what did you do?
How
long were you there?
The biggest elf. I was there from second grade all through college. Like I graduated college at University of Alaska.
You still have family up there?
My dad still lives up there. Yeah, he's the
He's the mayor.
mayor / public works director.
Right. There's like 6 people in that town. So he has to, right? Okay.
Yeah, we like when I was in 8th grade, we got a stoplight. It was huge. It was like a big.
Was that exciting? Do you have celebration?
Oh my gosh!
Like a big
Everybody
party?
was like just going through, like, oh, look at this, we got a stoplight.
That's
It was
amazing.
a fun place to grow up as a kid.
Did you see? I imagine if you're from there, you probably got to see like Northern Lights a lot.
Oh yeah, love it, love it. Actually, one of my businesses is Aurora, because of the name of the business is Aurora Dental Group, and that's because of the Northern Lights and living up there and all that. Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Really fun.
how is this a real person?
I know, right? I don't think it is.
How long did you live there before you came to the real United States?
Yeah, moved to Arizona in 2008. So we've been in Arizona since then.
What brought you to Arizona besides the fact that you were like, okay,
Just work.
This 24 hours of darkness and perpetual freezing cold weather sucks.
That's how I started, like back in the 90s. I started watching the World Series of Poker on TV because, it's perpetual darkness and you just watch. So I was really into sports, so I was always watching ESPN, and ESPN used to have shows where they would show strange sports or whatever. So I remember watching like Bobby Baldwin and all those guys back in the 90s play at the World Series, and that kind of got me started on like, whoa, what is this poker thing, And then I didn't actually start playing until 2010.
This is a good segue. You're you're a professional broadcaster. This is great.
He's doing
You should run a podcast. Okay, so segue into how did you get into poker? Did you play up in? So you didn't play up in Alaska at all?
No, there was no
home game or anything.
And I didn't recognize online anything. I never played. And then I came down here for work, and there was guys at the lab that had like a monthly home game. And I just went and I won, and
which is amazing in its own right because we've seen you play.
Right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
exactly.
That's the real Christmas miracle to this whole
It's
story.
a total Christmas miracle. I must have ran really hot or something.
But you were in forensics for a bit, you said. Tell us about that.
You're forensics?
I was a
He's
forensic
really
scientist
interesting.
for many years.
God, I feel like we could do like 4 pregame shows with you. Keep going. This is awesome.
Just did that, so I had a lot of fun.
Is that what you studied?
So I got my bachelor's degree in biological science and then master's in biology. Got into medical school, but also got into this forensic program. And we had been living off of student loans. We had 3 kids. We were just, I don't know. So for whatever reason, I just didn't go to medical school, and I went into this forensics program. And just started our life. Worked for the Phoenix Police Department in the crime lab. Really enjoyed it. Really felt good about myself, like I was helping my community. It was a really great job.
What was the coolest case? Or the most gruesome case, which might also be the coolest case?
I had tons. A cool case there was a case where there was an arson case at the airport, and they were thinking maybe it was someone within, one of the organizations there, like a
personnel.
Yeah, a person from the airport or whatever.
Right.
So that was a really fun case to do. I had thousands of cases. So
Is it like, like when I watch Court TV or something, or CSI, how much is it like that, or is it not?
yeah, that's just super dramatized. It's not really like that at all.
It's not all that sexy.
No. It's not. We had it broken down, so we had people that would go to the crime scene, collect Then we had people that would process, and then we had people like me that would analyze. And so I would analyze the evidence all day, basically at the lab.
So did you have to go to court?
Oh yeah, all the time. I was constantly. I think my number was like 60 some times I've had to testify on different cases and stuff like that. Actually, I just yesterday received a subpoena from a 2008 case I have to go back and testify like next week on.
Did the evidence change or something?
No, they just finally get around to it. Just sometimes it just takes
2008?
years. Sometimes it just takes years.
15 years ago.
Cases. Yeah. I remember when I first started, that's partly why I got hired. They had like a 10-year backlog. It was just insane how many cases they had, and
So basically, if you commit a crime, even if you're really bad at it, you're probably good for 10, 15 years.
Probably.
I mean, just on the backlog.
Maybe. I mean, there's just such a backlog.
In Arizona, right?
In Arizona. But actually,
I don't think things are better here.
They hired a bunch of really cool people, and we, worked a ton of overtime. We actually got through that backlog. So I think now they're up to date. I don't know. I haven't been in the lab in 8 years, so I don't know what's happening, but
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so what's a day in the life? How old are your kids, by the way?
So my kids are 13 to 19.
Okay, so you got one.
They're all in love with Mariano. They all think he's super good looking and all that.
You're all good looking.
And
Thank you, Doug.
And I tell him, he's mine, he's not yours, you can't have him.
Okay.
Yeah, sorry. Get your own vlogger, right?
Right.
I belong to Dentist Dave.
They're just funny.
And whatever
There you
cartel
go.
he's
You
from.
can fight your kids for that. What is a day in the life of Dentist Dave? So do you actually live in Arizona? Or you live here?
I live in Arizona.
But you just come here a lot.
just
Do you
come
come
here
here a
a
lot for work, or you come here a lot specifically for the show?
Nick Airball was
you.
telling me
Just for you, because he loves you.
I just need to get a place out here at this point. I need to just find some $1 million RV. I can't imagine the real estate out here.
Why don't you open a dentist clinic here? On the first floor dentist clinic, top floor is a one-bedroom studio for
I
yourself.
should, but then I'd have to bring in another dental direct. It gets complicated.
Different state, right? So that's why it's a nightmare.
Mike X is coming.
Hey,
Mike X is late, but whatever. He does what he wants to do.
standard issue.
Johnny Vibes is coming in too. Johnny, we're doing a pregame show. It's okay. You're walking in. It's totally cool, though, man. Totally cool. It's Johnny Vibes, everybody.
That's awesome.
So wait, okay. So where were we? What were we talking about? Oh, a day in the life of Dentist Dave.
Oh,
It depends on the day, right?
Of course.
Very different days when he's playing here and when
I'm
he's
either
home.
traveling here or coming back from here.
Do you literally come here just for this?
Yeah.
That's
I just have fun.
love this
I'm really
guy.
lucky.
That's amazing.
He's awesome.
I got to the point now in my business where I've done all the hard work and put good people in the right places. So the business kind of just runs itself at this point. And so now I'm just kind of
I need to get one of those.
Yeah. Wait, I got a question.
trying
actually.
to learn poker.
So, but up until recently, because you and I only got connected, 2 months ago now? 3 months?
Yeah.
So, up until then.
My wife.
That's a whole funny story on its own.
Yeah, why don't you?
So, with being in the poker space, all the attention I get is from men.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I finally had a message from a girl, And I was like, okay, finally things are heating up.
Yeah.
Long story short, it was just Dave's wife messaging me on Instagram like, my husband wants to play in your game. He doesn't have Instagram, so I need to use this tool to get in touch with you.
And when she sent you the direct message, did you immediately let me look at this? Let me look at the picture. And,
Yeah. I was just like, oh, who? I don't want to say her
Mike,
name.
get in here.
Hey, Mike.
Sorry.
But anyway,
We'll just say
Mike,
it's Mrs. Jacobson.
Mrs. Dentist Dave.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you
So,
go.
Mike, I was just saying, I finally got female attention in my Instagram DMs, and it was just
It was my wife.
Dave's wife asking if he could play in my game a couple months ago. That's how we got connected. But
And he's like, I don't know.
yeah,
Tell me about yourself.
yeah, because I just want to be
I'm
sure.
really bad.
But up until then, what did your poker career or habits look like? Because you weren't playing here every other week or whatever. Talking stick or something?
So pretty much, I started just playing after work during those years from 2010 to 2020. I just play after work. If I get stuck, I just keep playing until midnight or whatever.
By the way, that's actually the GTO. That's the best way to play poker. When you're stuck, you play until you're unstuck.
Yeah.
Right.
And you
and if
never
you
lose.
book a win, then you leave.
Yeah.
So that's
Seriously,
So, Tuck, you just never lose.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's how horrible I was. I was
what I
like,
was taught.
listen, I just need to win like my little $200 or $300. I'm happy with that. So if I'd win that, I'd leave.
Right.
And then if I got stuck, I'd stay until I got unstuck. And
Did that work?
yeah, I just did that from 2009 to like 2020, 2-3, 3-5, 5-10. And then
Did you always leave unstuck?
oh no, like I definitely just eventually would have to give up some nights.
I'm not coming back tonight.
But I would just book wins. So my win rate was insane because I was like literally, like on my first hand, I've left on my
By the way,
first hand before.
that's incredibly common.
Is it?
Oh my,
Okay.
really? Is it? Shut up.
Just have these little,
really?
these
Well,
little
that's incredibly
wins.
common. Oh yeah, I mean most when I was coming up and I would coach people and stuff, honestly the biggest thing would be
Just
like
get a win and
oh
go.
no, they'd be like I win 90% of the time, but then the one time I lose everything back that I won.
Yeah.
And I go, yeah.
Huge losses. tiny
You are
wins.
like 99% of humans.
Yeah.
I go, that's our human condition is it hurts much
Protect.
more to lose than it feels good to win. So as a result, when we lose, we're like, no, I have to stay. I can't
Yeah.
leave.
Yeah.
So then we end up playing super long sessions when we're playing bad.
Poorly, yeah.
And we play super short sessions when we're actually playing well.
Interesting.
It's very counterintuitive and pretty stupid, but hey, we're humans, so
Yeah.
that's what it is.
Yeah, and so that's just kind of the thing. And then I really kind of just didn't play from like 2020 to through the pandemic. I kind of was very sparingly.
You
like
didn't jump online or
my
anything?
yeah, I looked on my little poker tracker. I think in like 2 years I only played like maybe 200 hours. I was very, very sparingly, mostly because of pandemic and stuff. And then I started playing again, and then I started going to the Bellagio, and they had that 50, 100, 200 game, and I was like breaking even in that, and I was like, well, hey. So then that gave me the courage to have my wife message me.
Why didn't you message him?
He doesn't
I'm
have
not on
Instagram.
social media. I don't have anything.
Okay.
Because the way I tell people to get in touch is through Instagram if they want to
Yeah.
play the private game on weekends.
So this is not a case of like, my husband thinks you're cute.
no,
Okay.
I don't think so.
No.
At least he hasn't said so yet.
I mean, I do, but I'm
Yeah.
good.
You're good, okay.
Yeah, so that's kind of the segue into playing my game and the streams lately.
And then I started playing with him and immediately got down 150K, like right off the bat. And I was like, okay, I gotta figure out how to play better here. And then slowly now, I think last game I finally got back to even. So now we're back to being an even player, which I'm happy as long as I can just.
Well, there's a hand last week I wanted to bring up, okay, and then we're going to bring Mike actually
Yeah.
to the conversation as well. So there's a hand last week. You're up against Mars. I was commentating on it. You had, I think, ace, queen of diamonds.
Yes.
And it was like, okay, bet, raise. Mars had queens, bet, 3-bet, 4-bet, call, whatever. A lot of money in the pot. You flop a flush draw, bet, you raise, turn, pairs the board. Pot's like 30,000. You go, that's good, 130. If you guys missed the show, I want to say it was last Wednesday,
Yeah.
right?
Or last Friday's show, I think.
Last Friday show?
Yeah.
Anyway, all of our shows are available on our YouTube channel for free. Check them out when you can. But this hand was like, I was like, wow, because it wasn't something I was expecting out of you. Like, you went like 3x pot on the
Yeah.
turn.
It was literally, I'm afraid. I need him to fold. Max pressure, please fold. That was the level of analysis that I got to on that hand, you know. And then I just decided, well, I've got 2 overs and I've got, a diamond out if he calls, you know.
What did you think he had?
When he started to study like that, I was like, oh, he's got an overpair and he's not. In the back
And what
of
did
my
you think
mind-
when you shoved? Like, when you raised the flop and he called you, what did you think he had? Like, what was the flop? Like, I want to say like jack, XX, 2 diamonds, something like that?
I always put everybody on ace king
Okay.
because that's just like this, default.
Everyone has ace king all the
Yeah.
time.
Right.
That's why I called with the 8s too previously.
Right.
I was
That was
like,
a hand
he's
there
got
earlier.
ace king and I'm good.
Of course, right.
Yeah.
And by the way, if he had ace king, you would have been good.
Yeah. And then,
Except no, the king came on the. Didn't the king come on the river and you still come? Because then you convinced him he had ace queen or something.
no,
No, you can still beat Ace King. You're right. No,
I don't remember. I could beat Ace King. That's all that's all I remember.
I can beat Ace King, and I'm calling.
Not objective about this hand. I was like, I can beat Ace King. No, but on that hand, yeah, I basically was like, hey, I've got the nut flush draw. I got 2 overs. And
That's the worst that could happen.
I'm never trying to get someone to fold like aces or kings ever. So I just was a bad read on my part.
You're just trying to get him to like fold 9s or something?
Yeah. I was like, okay, pocket 10s, I can get to fold, you know.
Right.
But aces or kings, people just hero with aces and kings a lot of the time because they just will get the guts to do it.
Well, he had queens, so it was like right in between.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure, you know?
As soon as I did it, the voice in my head, too, I told you guys, the voice in my head was like, oh, Marsh doesn't fold. He's not going to fold. So I'm just sitting here like, I just shipped 130K and he's not going to fold.
Oh, and how scared?
I'm super
okay,
scared.
so you guys have all been in this spot. I'm actually curious. Like, okay, so I play poker, but I don't play at these stakes. You guys are insane. When you go 130K, and you guys have all done this, and the bluff is already in, what are you guys feeling? Like when you made the bluff and you don't know if they're going to call or not, but the chips are out there. Like, what is your thought? Like, you just put a ton of money in the middle of the pot with nothing.
Well, usually my first thought is, God, please have him fold.
So just pray.
Yeah.
Deity.
And sometimes there's a physical reaction because sometimes they tank for a minute or two, and I realize I stopped breathing, right? So I'm like holding my breath, and I'm like, I'm trying to breathe without making it, without making it sound like, you know, I'm nervous. And I mean, it's funny. I was thinking about this the other day. When I started playing, it was horrible. I mean, my heart rate, sometimes I would feel like, you know, literally my chest is like, my shirt, you can see like my heart pumping. It has gotten so much better. Like right now, it's almost, you know, my heart rate goes up maybe a few beats. It doesn't even, because it's one of those things, it's a matter of, it also depends on how good of a bluff it is, right? It's one of those bluffs that, I just don't know any better. I'm scared. Like I relate to that. 3 Fridays ago, I played and I lost 300K, and you know, twice. One hand was against him. You know, I finally made a queen on the river, so I had you know, showdown value. But you know, I knew I was behind, and I'm like, okay, hopefully boom, before I even called it.
Well, I was stuck. That's why I called so fast.
Yeah. I don't blame you.
It's really hard to bluff him. He's a calling station, and if he's stuck, there's no chance of folding.
It's really, I agree with that part. He's really difficult to bluff, but he's not a calling.
No, I'm kidding.
Sometimes.
Honestly, if he was a calling station, I wouldn't call it. I wouldn't say
The
it.
funny thing is, if he has a second best hand or a third best hand, he will fold. If he has just one lousy pair, sometimes 5 minutes, he's like, oh, I don't know. It's like, dude, you have like usually with, you know, really good hands that it would be quite sure you should call, he folds. You know, he reads the thing, the situation really well. The ones he gets stuck is the like, come on, just have a pair of 8. There are 3 other pairs on top of that. There's a straight draw. Like, what are you thinking about? That's the part I don't know. I still don't understand about that. But yeah.
Are you at the point now when you put a lot of money in there with a bluff? Are you almost numb to it because you guys have been playing? You know, it's not like, obviously the show's been going on a year and a half. You've been playing for a while now. You've been playing these high stakes. Are you almost numb to the amount of money on the table at this point, or no?
No. Not me. I don't know. My experience is the whole reason, and we were texting earlier today about, you know, how, especially like, I'm having like almost a month of just bad, brutal, you know, cards. And like, look, it's part of the game. I'm not going to start a sob story here. The point I was trying to make, it was like, and Mariano was like, hey, you don't need to play. I'm like, yeah, absolutely. And the reason I play is for the thrill. The thrill of the excitement, you know, and if you don't have that, right, because the money I have for playing is here. I don't take it home. If I win 100 or 200K, I don't fly private jet, and if I lose 100, 200K, I don't start eating and you know, McDonald's, right? Like my life really is my entertainment money, gambling money, whatever you
By the way,
want to
there's
call
nothing
it.
wrong with McDonald's. If you like to eat at McDonald's, he's not
Don't-
suggesting anything's wrong with McDonald's, okay? Go ahead and eat at
Don't
McDonald's.
fucking eat McDonald's.
Or don't
Come
eat
on.
McDonald's.
Like, yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway,
You just offended like 50% of Tuck's diet.
right, exactly. Come on, man.
Tuck and I,
Dude, on the way home, I take Redondo. There's a McDonald's right there.
we have gotten really close since last Sunday. Should I divulge? So, I'm last Sunday meetup game, right?
Yeah.
There's this huge pod, like 5-way all in. It's double board PLO bomb pod, and it's like 3K for a 1-3 game. I have the nuts on the top board, and I'm all in. I'm waiting for the other people to call, and call. The river card comes, and I realize, oh shit, I also made it straight at the bottom, right?
That's cool.
So they're showing the card. Somebody's dry humping me from behind, right? I'm like, man, I'm like,
Oh, yeah, I was there.
Right? Yeah.
That's right.
And I look back. It's Tuck.
I was hoping it would be some cute girl or something.
No, I'm
It was just a cute dude.
Him and I,
excited for
him and
you.
I have gotten so much closer since Sunday, you know. So I can comment on his diet. It's all right.
Please,
It's
okay.
all right.
Feel free. Okay, so your take when you put the 130 in, and you're like, oh shit, Mars doesn't fold. And then you're just sitting there going, please fold.
Yeah.
How scared, or at that point, were you just kind of like, okay, well, nothing I can do about it?
It was opposite for me. I initially was very calm, and then once I realized Mars doesn't fold, then all of a sudden the biggest fight or flight response, just I was full of adrenaline at that point. And I just was like, oh, I better do something. So then, I don't know if you noticed, but I started kind of really slowly doing my chips because I just needed a release of some movement because I was... Something
know.
was, yeah. If I'm bluffing,
Please,
if I'm bluffing, I'm going really slow with my chips.
Do that next time you're the complete nuts. He'll snap call you and you'll be like, got it, set up.
But yeah, I get, maybe it's still new to me or I don't know what, but like it just was this huge explosion of adrenaline.
What about you? Okay, so when you first came on the show, and obviously you're a big name, big YouTube vlogger, and I was getting people were commenting about you were like, oh, I've watched Mariano's videos, he doesn't bluff. Okay. Either A, you didn't bluff, or they don't know you very well. Because I've watched you bluff many, many times, and in really sophisticated spots with a lot of money.
Yeah.
And you put people to the test. What are your, like when that happens to you? What is your, like, what are you feeling? What are you thinking? Or when you just decide to go for it?
It kind of depends who it's against. With me, for some reason, that's how it goes. Like, if it's someone I'm happy to end up punting to, then I'm not really tripping. But if it's like someone I really don't want to lose to, like I really don't want to give them chips for whatever reason, then that's when I get a little more nervous during the hand. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, is it
shouldn't be that
somebody
way.
you don't mind punting to in the sense that, like, you know they're going to gamble and the chips are still in play as opposed to, like, you're giving chips to a pro and the chips are kind of out of the market?
Even like, no, not even, well, yeah, so what you're saying is right, but the line isn't necessarily like pro or not pro or whatever.
Right.
It's just, yeah, I want the chips to be in play and like it's someone who's giving me action, someone I give action to, and it goes back and forth, and like, I'm not worried about it really.
I mean, there's nothing more frustrating, I think, than losing chips to a guy or a girl who doesn't give you action. You're like really?
I doubled someone up on the show a few like weeks ago, and it just like put me in the worst mood. Right. But then other times, like
Who was the guy? Who was it?
It was
I can't say he's right here with us. But yeah, if it's someone who's an action player and someone that I think will keep the game going, like then I don't really have a problem with it.
You know what I have a problem with?
What?
Keeping a poker face.
You don't, Mike, because someone who's been
you're
on the
really good.
receiving end of your value bets and bluffs, I never know what the fuck you have.
Yeah, I sometimes don't know either, so that makes the two of us very right. But I swear to God, so many, like I work on it because my general face is a smile, like, you know, a relaxed face and whatever. So, and so many times it's like smallest thing, if somebody pops a joke or something, you know, I start smiling. So, and I do it when I have the nuts, and I do it when I have the, you know, a complete bluff. But the funny thing is, sometimes I realize maybe they can read into it, maybe they cannot. But it's like yesterday, I was in a big pot, and Ludacris was sitting here. I was sitting here. He's looking at me, and so I winked at him, and he started laughing. He goes, "Did you just wink at me in the middle of the thing?" I'm like, "Yeah, shh, don't say, we're in the middle of it." So, who knows? Maybe it's good, maybe it's bad, but most of the time, I really try to like be calm and be as nonchalant as possible.
Yeah. You said you practice it. How do you practice it? I mean, do you go in front of the mirror? Like?
No, not in that way.
Just
Practicing
like in exercise, right? Like
I try to block out all the conversation because especially like it's every game, but Tuesday game is like really like a home game, right?
Yeah.
We are cracking constantly joke. We are needling each other, Oh, by the way, I want to say something. I threw a chip last night, but it was. Let me explain. So, because Billy thought that Chris, the DJ Washburn, right?
Yeah.
He gave me a chip and I threw it. No, he gave everybody a chip before the stream started, right? So we all had it.
Like a card protector?
No, it's a chip, right? But
Shaun Yaple, shout out to Shaun Yaple. What's up, Shaun?
It has his name and his logo on it.
Okay.
Right?
Washburn, by the way, awesome DJ. He's here for the meetup game, which is amazing.
Yeah.
Super cool.
Love the guy. Super positive energy. So I keep losing all ins, and the guys are like, that chip is unlucky. I'm like, you know what? Because I've given all my chips away, and that was the only one left. So this was like 4 hours into the thing, and I just threw it at the wall. Right? It was 4 hours afterwards. I was like, it's unlucky. We were making joke, of course. So. It was not, what is it called, that he gave me a chip at that moment. It was 3 hours before, as a joke, we were like, this is an unlucky chip, get it away. And as soon as I did, I started actually winning some hand, and they're like, see, we told you, that's an unlucky chip, put it away.
Uh-huh. Hey, Mike, we said we were going to dress up today, and then you texted me saying, no, I'm actually going to dress down. You're looking 10 out of 10. What's going on with that?
Yeah, super fresh.
What's up with this shirt?
I have
this
a
watch
shirt,
and
dude.
Stuff? Your hair's all combed.
This is just Mike.
Dude,
my
it's so
hair's
disappointing.
always
I was
gone.
like, let's look nice.
By the way, that's actually
Fresh to
one of
death.
the Twitter questions. So we did throw out the Twitter, like, okay, some questions. And one of the questions was, what does the X stand for?
Okay.
Hold on, I'm gonna give you a shout out here. Okay, here it is. I want to get a shout out for the person, so while you do it here. Actually, there's a few Mike X questions. Oh. Here you go. This is from 40 Ounce to Freedom. Shout out to you at 40 Ounces to Freedom. Mike X, what does the X stand for?
So when they asked me, okay, what name do we put in, right? There were so many mics already, an Armenian mic and this mic and that mic. I'm from Generation X, right? And also X is for unknown, right? So it was one of those like, okay, and it's short, right? And when you pronounce it, you don't mix it up with something else, right? So like, okay,
That's a good
it's
one.
Mike X.
I think we should change it to Mike XXX.
I mean, but there could be the next Mike could be Mike XXX. Listen, I'm just from a commentator standpoint, I am really happy that it's not like Athanasios Polychronopoulos or something weird like that.
Yeah.
Because you could have made it my life hell. I could just be like X-Man's here.
Yeah.
So it's simple.
Yeah.
X is cool.
And the X-Man and X Factor were born like with you and other commentators and people like it added a cool whole
It's got some
aspect.
flair.
Yeah,
I like that.
Okay, so, Mike. Another question, also from 40 Ounce. What is your? He vacations apparently at the North Pole. What is your favorite place to go on vacation?
Oh boy. So Hawaii has been home away from home. We travel to Hawaii once a year.
Is there an island that you particularly?
All of them. Like each have. The one we visited the most is Maui and Kauai. Those are the two. Favorite, there's so many beautiful places around the world. I've been very lucky to travel most, for work and for fun, and so. They're really gorgeous places, but Hawaii definitely, if not the top three.
Okay, I want to bring it back to your work for a second, but before we do that, I do want to ask. I would never ask you who the spots are in the game, because I know poker. But I will ask you all, and I'll start with you.
You don't need to ask. I raised my hand.
Who are the toughest players? Not players you're necessarily intimidated by.
Today's game?
Yeah, no, not necessarily today's game.
Okay.
But just in the Hustler Casino Live, like when you watch and when you play through over the last few months that you played, who are the players just like, Man, that guy or girl is really tough. I feel like I've played where I've been like, I don't know why, I just feel like that person always knows where I'm at. Like if I'm bluffing, they know it. They can just see through me somehow.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably got to go with Armenian Mike. Just the bluffing and the he's so tricky. Like it's not surprised he got blocked from the games for winning so much. So probably him.
I like that.
Armenian
Okay.
Mike.
Yeah.
Do you guys agree?
Yeah, for sure. He is the original bluff, right? I mean,
Yeah. He's the bluff.
Yeah, he's the
He's Mr. Bluff.
Him?
Besides him, yeah, he gives.
Besides him, it's Armenian Mike.
He gives me the most.
The most
fits.
trouble.
Yeah, because for some reason, even when he's 3 and 4 betting me, I just want to keep calling. Just like
He comes after me.
It's
his own doing.
You can admit you love him. It's okay.
I do, but
I
it's
do
like
too,
it's,
so I
it's more
relate
than-
to you.
It's something real we have.
I know.
No, I just really, I for whatever reason, because he can have a pure bluff, or he can have the nuts, and that's what.
It also doesn't
It's
help.
aggravating.
I've been running so hot against you like the last 2 months. Every big pot we play, I've had the winning hand. I don't know if you've noticed that, but like
I have noticed that.
dude. Okay, so like,
Maybe you haven't noticed that. Yeah, of course I noticed that. All my chips keep going to you.
I'm saying like, okay, so the first time we ever played together, Dave was on a sun run. He had quads
was.
twice, full house, straight, you name it. Ever since that day, every time I just have the winning hand. So it's tough to.
That's hard.
It's tough to beat someone when they got you beat every single time you're in the pot. So.
What about you? Is there a player that like you've played for longer? Is there a player
Yeah.
that sounds like you're like, oh, that guy's good?
So look, I don't think it's one of those things like the best, whatever basketball player, best whatever. I think you have to quantify it. If you want to, respond somewhat, so people can relate to it. There are players that I kind of divide them in 2 camps. There are players that are fundamentally just solid, right? One of them sitting right here with us, right? So they're always tough to play against because, again, they can read the,
Him?
Yeah, he's working his way. Yeah. But yeah, he's so they're always tough because they don't tilt as often as most others do. They recognize the right situation and make the right move most of the time. Nobody's perfect, but we're talking about, generality, majority. Garrett was one of them before. It just, the guy just reads the situation, and there, so many times he wins $1,000, $2,000 pot before even the flop, and people fold to him because he recognizes, the spot, and with his raise, boom, everybody folds, right? And those add up, 7, 8 of those, it's like 30, 40K right there if you don't do anything else, right? So there are people who are just fundamentally sound, and most of the time, 9 out of 10, they always make really high quality decisions. So that's in one category. The other category that is tough against are people who have no regards for money. Yeah. That's a whole different toughness to play against. You play against Charles, you play against Ben, Blank Chick Ben, you play against Airball, you never know. It literally, it could be quads, it could be Jack 7 offsuit, and you saw a few weeks ago, Ben with Jack 7 offsuit, three-way action, keep raising and raising, and the people finally fall to it because it's just, last night I had the same situation. Ludacris is could be one of those sometimes where I had a pocket 8 and I raised before the flop. He 3-bet me after limping in, right? So called it. Flop is, I have a pocket 8 and there's already a jack on the board. So, he checked to me, I bet, he called. On the turn, oh no, I checked to him, he bet, I call. And then on the turn, it's a queen now. And so suddenly he fires, and the pot is only 4,000 and change. He fires 7,800. You know, in my bones, I know he's bluffing. The question is, am I willing? Because even if I call this, what is next, right?
Right. That disregard for money can be scary. So for you,
it's two different categories.
Right. But for you, is there somebody like? Would you rather play against the fundamentally sound person who actually has some regard for money, or would you, or is that player like you're like, you know what? I don't mind that guy because I know that he's not going to do anything crazy. And then you look at the blank check Benz or the Charles or something and go, that guy's just crazy. And I never know, like, if I have $300,000 in front of me, they might put me to the test for all of it.
Honestly, I don't care.
You don't care? Okay.
No.
That's
Honestly,
cool. I like that.
If you ask me for my preference, here's my preference. Give me an equal amount of decent starting card and decent fluffs to deal with, right? I'd rather have that challenge because again, what's the difference, right? I mean, either at the end of the day,
it's just personal preference, really.
Yeah. What's the difference, right? I want to be. Sometimes, doesn't matter what you do, you have the better cards. Like you just said, you open 3-bet, 4-bet, you're already hitting the flop, and by the board texture, they can't have much at all. So it's like there's nothing to do. I don't need to play much of that, right? There's no strategy behind it. Tonight's game, for example, like I take pride because I work on it to read situations of people.
Right.
So it takes a long time to kind of get somewhat of a picture.
Being the business that you're in, I imagine that, and this is no slight against what you do, but there's probably hundreds of companies out there that can make really good clothes, right? But for you, to be successful as you are, you're a people person.
Yeah.
And you know
I thought you were making a comment.
No, I wasn't complimenting you. I'm saying, but you're a people person.
Yeah,
you know how to relate to people. Yeah. You always have a smile on your face. I feel like probably one of your biggest strengths. Like you're really good at reading people,
right?
Not just at the poker table, but in life.
Yeah. Look, you think when you're young, you start a business, you think it's either luck or my product has to be the best. If you have enough experience behind you, you start realizing what matters, like in business or in life, is your personal relationships.
Yes.
Like those are the make it or break it. Because again, at the end of the day, what I make is not Apple iPhone where I have a technology nobody else has. I make clothing for living, right?
I will say your shirts are really comfortable.
Yeah,
very
appreciate
soft.
that.
Very nice.
Anybody can make a T-shirt, right? You can make it as high quality, and there are other 100 or several or 1,000 companies who make the same quality. So why people, on a wholesale level or on a retail level, it's just that the communication and the relationships you build with people.
If you're looking for a good T-shirt, by the way, check out True Classic. Okay, use the promo code and get 25% off your first offer. Sorry. Look at that. Just rolled off the tongue.
Good segue, Doc. Good segue.
I will tell you though, for me, grinding in LA, and I was a professional poker player for many years, the guy who I just felt like they could see through me, no matter what I was doing. They could see through my soul, was the GAF. And it was annoying too, because back then, I'd be playing in this casino, playing 5-10, whatever, and just basically running over the table. And then I would see Billy walk in with his buddy at like 2 in the morning. Because now the games are like 6-handed, 5-handed. I'm like, oh, this is great. Okay, I got these guys right where I want them. And then Billy would walk in. Right away, I'd be like, oh, and I would psych myself out.
Yeah.
And to this day, back then I had so much respect for his game, and I still do. I don't think people realize how good a poker player he is. Because when it comes to like understanding people,
right,
he's, fundamentally he knows how to do what he has, but he's like, like that. I know people. So that was always my nemesis.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even call it a rivalry because he just kicked my ass. Like the only time I ever beat him was when I got it in bad.
Yeah, sometimes it exists. In everything, right? It always is that where, sometimes you're playing the odds, pure odds, right? And sometimes you're playing the person. And so I think if you can do a good mixture of both, long term, that's the key to success.
Oh, no. Do you have any questions for these guys? I don't want to monopolize the question asking period.
No.
I think there were more questions on Twitter.
No, we
wasn't
have
there?
I have a ton more. I was trying to give the floor to Mariano in case.
No, I'm good. I'm happy just listening to these guys speak their minds.
Just ramble about.
There was a question about how do you recoup. I think it was for him actually. Maybe you answered it.
Let me say what I got.
How do you recoup from a big loss and a big win? Or what do you do after a big loss? So I have an answer for that.
Go ahead.
So after a big loss, depending on the size, right? From a quart of chocolate ice cream to 2 or 3 quarts, I eat that and I cry
So if you
myself
lose,
to
you-
sleep, right?
So if you lose, you just
Mine
gorge
is
yourself in food.
Whataburger. I gotta go to Whataburger. If I lose big, I gotta go just go eat
Do
something.
they have those in Arizona?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You?
Mine's really boring. Like, my life doesn't change much, like when I win a lot or lose a lot. Like, I'm more of a routine guy. So the quicker I can get back to just my routine, like, that's what makes me happy.
Okay. What's your routine?
It's pretty boring. Just like go to bed on time, wake up on time, go to the gym, get lunch, like do what I gotta do. Like for me, what makes me feel the best is making sure that whatever happens here doesn't affect like everything else in my life.
That's hard though.
It's super hard. I used to struggle with it for a long time, but like I'm finally starting to get the hang of it. So like the less that changes, the better for me.
That's cool.
How about a big win?
Nothing changes.
No.
You?
No.
So I go
all about the
home,
losses.
take my shirt off, go in front of the mirror and say, I'm the best. I'm the best. By the way, both of these answers were jokes.
I want to see this.
I remember when I saw that right here in the bathroom, Mike. I remember you won that big pot. I went to go take a piss, and I was like, Mike,
I'm the best.
put your
So
pants
by
back
the
on,
way,
Mike.
both of the answers were jokes. I haven't eaten ice cream in like 2 years, so because
You're like super healthy.
I have started eating really healthy. You know what happened during pandemic? During the lockdown, I gained 10 pounds.
Okay.
My
Like
energy-
many people did.
Yeah, I was already had extra to begin with. I gained 10 pounds just during the pandemic, right? My energy level, my sleep, I was miserable. So one of the things, reading, studying, learning about diet is really complex. Okay. Cut out the sugars, right? And
No sugar.
there's sugar in everything, literally. So by just cutting out sugars, you're cutting a good chunk of everything is out there. And I have done that to most part. I cheat here and there because there are few things that I just sometimes have craving for it and I have to go for it. But it's a portion rather than,
Is
it's a
this
slice of
processed sugar and also natural sugar or just processed?
both.
Both. You're just, okay, so
yeah,
like,
just
I've heard people do that. Like they're just taking sugar out of their life.
And
like no fruit or anything.
instant, I lost that 10 pounds, and another 5, 6, 7 pounds on top of that. Sleep got better. The energy level, that was the one that just completely changed. Because again, you take sugar, your body produces insulin, break it down, right? And it's a lot of work for the body. And then once it's broken down, you get this down. Okay, I need a pick me up, right? Whereas if your insulin level doesn't go like this constantly, then and you eat healthy on top of it, healthy fats, healthy proteins, and so on. You wake up. I mean, this is what happens to me. I have 4 cups of coffee usually, and eat until midnight. I have pretty much same energy level. Which before it was 4 in the afternoon. I just gotta lay down.
And this is why I do cocaine.
Yeah.
It's much better.
But this was a
Gets the
family
job
show,
done. Much
and
more
Ryan
simple.
said, "Don't
Sugar,
talk
I don't go
about
up and down. I just go straight up.
Ryan said, "Don't talk about cocaine. It's a family show." So, yeah.
So we're not going to
I
discuss.
saw the trailer for cocaine, bear cocaine thing.
What is
seen
that
it?
about?
Oh,
by the way?
Cocaine Bear.
I know that.
Dude, it's so good.
The what?
The trailer looks so amazing.
No, I haven't. I've seen
There's
the
a bear that
poster.
got into cocaine.
There's basically there's a plane.
seriously?
Plane flies and kilos of cocaine fall off the plane. And they're talking about it. And a bear gets into it. And it's obviously it's a farce. But it looks hysterical.
It's a movie.
It's a movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's a comedy.
I would assume so. Yeah. It seemed like a comedy.
No, it's a horror movie.
I mean, it's. I mean, I guess it's a black comedy,
Right.
Because the bear, kills people and stuff. But it's
Dark. Yeah.
it's pretty awesome.
Right.
Sounds fun.
I thought it looked pretty funny. My wife and I were watching it last night. I don't know.
When was the last time you were in a movie theater?
God, honestly, I don't go to the movies with my wife very often anymore. These days, it's a big deal for my boys. So my boys are 5 and 9. So like, they go to the movie theater with them. That's fun.
Yeah.
Like they love that. So we'll go to the movie theater. We'll get popcorn and we'll sit. So I don't know. We probably saw. What was that? The Strange World.
Strange World?
Strange World. It's a Disney Pixar thing.
Right.
Good.
Yeah. I haven't been to a movie theater maybe for maybe 10 years now.
I think movies suck now.
Wow.
I mean, for the most part. Listen, there's some movies that are good,
I don't
but
disagree at
compared
all.
to like TV now, it used to be like when I was a kid, like movies were amazing and TV was fluff. And now it's like
the other way around.
TV is amazing and movies are fluff.
You had the blockbusters, and you also had the independent movie where the subject matter was so unique and different and nuanced. Right now, the only thing there seems like is this big blockbuster. Is the world is coming to an end, and some sort of a hero is going to come to save.
Yeah.
There's really no other subject about it.
Yeah, I'm not super
Right.
into hero movies.
I mean, to a point.
Do you like
yeah,
the anti-hero movies?
What do you mean?
Like the anti-hero.
No.
You know, like a.
I
Like Avengers and things like that.
Yeah.
No, not at all. I'm more into like stuff that could happen in real life. Type
Okay.
movies. Yeah. That's my style.
Is there a show you're binging now?
Yeah, I got a few. One of my favorite shows is Peaky Blinders.
Okay.
Just finished rewatching that.
Rewatching it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That good.
Yeah, it's great. I really liked Better Call Saul.
Did you like Breaking Bad as well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just finished Ted Lasso as well. That one was pretty cool. Have you seen that?
I have seen. I like Ted Lasso.
That's a good.
But you like things that can happen in real life. So Breaking Bad, we've got.
Yeah. I mean, these things are all based on like the reality we live in.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
They'll take you there.
Yeah. Like Avengers, like I mean, it's cool, but come on.
Probably not going to really happen.
Probably not going to happen.
Is there something you're watching now?
Yeah. My wife and I are watching Severance.
Oh yeah.
No, not Severance. Yeah, we are watching Severance, but no, Servant.
Oh, Servant.
Servant.
And we don't understand it.
Okay, so we started watching Servant.
Did you? Yeah.
So we had when Servant first came out, we had a little kid, and like the very first episode, like 20 minutes into
Yeah.
it, the baby's about to die.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't know if that.
Spoilers.
But we turned right. Sorry. But we turned it off. We're like, okay, I don't need babies
It's too
dying.
much, yeah.
I was like, I got a kid. I'm like, no, I don't need this. So I
Yeah.
turned it off.
We
I should have
We're
gone
like
through
in
it.
season 3. We still have no clue. We both kind of don't even like it, but we don't.
You're too
Do you feel-
invested.
do
We're
you
just
feel
like,
committed
what's
now?
going to happen? Like, explain this to me. You know.
You're too invested.
We are.
Yeah.
So we
That's
watch
amazing.
it, but we hate it, but we're still watching it.
It's like marriage.
I don't know.
You just got to see it through to the
You
end.
just got to keep on going. Yeah.
At some point, somebody will die and you move
Yeah,
on.
it's hilarious.
Is that something you're watching or
Severance
no?
is good.
The marriage thing?
No.
No, I mean, actually, we started, my wife and I, this is my third time we're watching Game of Thrones.
Third time?
Yeah. We are on the.
Have you watched the spin-off too?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That kind of jump-started watching.
You were like, I wanna watch it
watching
again.
it again because every time you watch it, there's new pieces of information that you're like, oh, they were talking about this part of it. So,
Right.
yeah.
Ted Lasso is brilliant.
I love Ted Lasso.
Love Ted Lasso.
Seen
If
that.
you like Apple show, like my morning show, a little heavy, really good though.
Yeah, that's a good one.
That's a really good
Yeah.
show.
check it out.
We're watching This Is Us,
Oh, this is
the Sony PlayStation video game.
Last of Us.
Last of Us, right?
There it
Not
is.
This Is Us. This Is Us, like a family show, isn't it?
Not sure what it is.
Totally
but yeah,
different.
Last of Us is like pretty trendy right now, I think.
Yeah. It's
That one's cool too. I saw
Yeah.
a little bit of it. I watched Narcos. Have you guys seen that?
Yeah.
Narcos.
No. all
I
of
haven't
them.
seen that.
Narcos is so good.
Yeah, those are like everything with drug dealers and cartels
Oh,
and,
yeah, it's great.
and mafia and,
Yep.
I love
You're
that.
into it?
That's the
Yeah.
best.
okay. We only have like a minute left. I'm going to ask you guys really just very snap questions here. Okay. What would you rather? A crazy call with like Queen High, or an amazing bluff? Oh boy. Like if you could choose one.
I'm a calling station, so I prefer calling.
Would you rather make the call,
I would
but
rather
not a
make the
call
call.
where you're like just guessing? I mean a call where you're like, dude, I think you've got 7, 8 of clubs. I'm
Yeah.
calling you with Jack High.
I feel good about it. Yeah.
Yeah, I got to go with Dave's answer here.
You like that?
The
Sexy
is
call?
cooler. Call is cooler than the bluff.
Yeah.
So I do a lot of calling, and a decent amount of time I'm right, but I still suck at bluffing. So I'm gonna pick bluffing because to me, I haven't gotten that down the way I want it. So yeah, a huge bluff going through. I think right now at this point
Just
in
keep
my
practicing
career,
today, Mike.
Yeah,
keep practicing
absolutely.
today.
Yeah, listen,
I'll be watching it.
I wink at you and you fold,
Yeah.
right? And then
Okay.
I'm like, yeah, see?
Yeah, let's do that.
because everything here is fixed. You guys know that, right?
And Airball Senior is financing me too, on top of Airball Junior.
Oh,
so
wow.
That's nice.
yeah, yeah.
Awesome.
That's good.
You know,
I was hoping. I know Blank Check Ben was actually looking to stank somebody to stack airball, and I was like, I'd like to nominate myself
right.
for that.
Right. He offered last time $2,000. Whoever stacks airball,
Guess 2,000.
Blank check gives him additional $2,000.
So I'm gonna risk $400,000 to win 2. To try to stack them.
Yeah.
That seems insane. Anyway, I think that is going to do it for us, guys. Hey, enjoy the show tonight. As always, make sure you subscribe. Give these guys a thumbs up. Forget about me. Forget about Ryan. These guys are here every single week. Okay, he basically lives here now. Okay, he is like Mr. Forensics. He's Santa Claus. This guy is the Santa Claus of forensics people. Okay.
Yeah.
No, seriously though, when you watch the show, give them a thumbs up. Okay. We do really appreciate your support. And
Thank you everyone for watching. I mean, without the fans, I don't think it would be a show.
You're just playing poker, right? Without the fans, we have no show.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank you, bud.
Hey.
Good luck to you guys tonight.
Thanks.
All right.
You well.
Need these back?
You guys are awesome. Thank you, Mike. Oh, that was perfect. We got the whole Santa Claus thing.
Raise it up.
Chat Pro, slow roll, never fold, slow roll, never fold, slow roll, never fold.
Raise it up. Raise it up.
Chat Pro.